Hey Dwayne. Vin Diesel encounters Dwayne Johnson at Golden Globes in awkward moment. Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson share an awkward greeting while the former presents at the 2025 Golden Globes. Diesel remains best known for his work in the Fast and Furious franchise, having played leading man Dominic Toretto since 2001. Johnson joined the franchise as Luke Hobbs in 2011's Fast 5. A role he has now reprised in multiple sequels. It hasn't always been smooth sailing for Diesel and Johnson, though, with the pair having reportedly been at odds behind the scenes of various Fast and Furious movies. Now, after their reported feud was seemingly laid to rest, Diesel and Johnson share an awkward interaction at the Golden Globe ceremony on January 5. While presenting an award, Diesel spots Johnson in the crowd, offering up an awkward "Hey Dwayne," while Johnson smiles. It's not clear if the moment is scripted or not, but it elicits some chuckles from around the room. Check out Variety's clip of the encounter below. What Diesel and Johnson's encounter means for Fast and Furious. Toretto and Hobbs are enemies for much of Fast 5, and behind-the-scenes stories eventually came to suggest that this mirrored the dynamic between Diesel and Johnson. The alleged Diesel and Johnson feud went public when Johnson released an Instagram post in 2016 in which he called some of his unnamed Fast and Furious co-stars candy asses. The two stars would subsequently trade barbs in various press interviews and social media posts. Diesel then made an impassioned plea for Johnson to return as Hobbs in 2021, only for Johnson to fairly bluntly shut the idea down. Diesel and Johnson seemingly buried the hatchet, however, when Johnson made a surprise return as Hobbs during the Fast X post-credits scene in 2023. It was announced shortly thereafter that Johnson would headline his own solo Fast and Furious Hobbs spin-off. Few updates on this project have emerged since, but the latest video from the Golden Globes suggests that there might still be a bit of awkwardness between the two stars. It remains unclear whether Johnson will appear in the upcoming Fast X Part 2, which will seemingly be the franchise's next release. Diesel has confirmed that filming on Fast X Part 2 has now started, but it remains unclear what the status of the Hobbs spinoff is. Our take on the Diesel and Johnson Golden Globes interaction. It doesn't really seem like there is any obvious animosity between Diesel and Johnson in the clip, but the interaction is still awkward. As with any other job, though, actors don't have to be, and often aren't, best friends behind the scenes, and what matters is ultimately what ends up on screen. There's a great deal of uncertainty whether Fast X Part 2 will end the franchise or not, but it would be nice from a fan's perspective to see Toretto and Hobbs united one last time, wrapping up that particular character dynamic 14 years after it was first introduced.